morning F1S, good morning F1A, welcome to Maths for Friday. Let's go check our learning intention and success criteria. We are learning that mathematicians can use count all to find out how many altogether. Our success criteria is, I can use count all to find out how many altogether. Today we're going to keep practicing using count all to do addition. Addition or adding is when we have two or more groups and we put them all together and make one group. We combine them together. We add them together. A good way to understand addition or adding is to think about different situations where you might need to use it. Imagine you had two baskets. This basket has 5 apples and this basket has 3 apples. If you want to know how many apples you have all together, you'll need to add them together. A way to do addition that we're learning about is using count all. Count all is when you count all the objects and you start from 1. So if you had all your apples, you put them all together and you count them all starting from 1. You might have heard of the word plus before. Have you heard of things like 1 plus 1 or 2 plus 3? Another word for plus is and. So you might say 3 and 2 make 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't forget that count all means that you count all of the objects and you start from 1. When you're using count all, it's important to remember to count each object once and only once, just like how we practiced when we were learning about counting. Today, we're going to practice using count all to do addition by using some dice and some things around the house. I haven't got any dice at my house, so I'm going to use an online dice. So before I start, I'm going to make sure that I've got everything that I need. The first thing that you'll need is some dice. If you don't have any dice at home, you can do what I'm doing and use an online dice. I'll put the link to this website on our page for you to use. You'll also need some objects. I'm using the teddies, but you could use anything at home. You might want to use your toys, or you might want to use some rocks or sticks from outside. You can choose what objects you are going to use. I've also written my title, Count All Addition, on my whiteboard. You can write that on your piece of paper or in your book. Alright, let's roll the dice and see what numbers I get. I've got a 6 and a 5. Alright, now I'm going to use my teddies to make 6 and then to make 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6. Now make 5. I might change the colour, but it doesn't really matter. You can use the same colour if you want. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've got my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got my 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm going to use count all to figure out how many I've got all together. Let's start over here and start counting from 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I keep going. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 6 and 5 makes 11. That is our first addition problem that we've figured out. Let's do another one. So I roll the dice again. Ooh, this time it's 6 and 3. Okay, let's make our numbers. I'm using the teddies, but you can use whatever you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our 6, and now I have to make 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's use Count All to count all of these objects and figure out how many there are all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going. 7, 8, 9. So 6 and 3 makes 9. Great. And then I'd have another go. So here are your steps for today. First, roll 2 numbers. You might use real dice or a digital dice, either one. Roll 2 numbers. I've got a 4 and a 1. Then you write the numbers in your book or on a piece of paper. So I would write 4 and 1. After that, you use objects around your house to make your numbers. So you might use texters to make 4 and 1. Up to you what objects you use. When you've made them, use Count All to count all of the objects. So if I made mine out of Unifix, I would have 4 over here and 1 over here, and then I would use Count All. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I figured out that there's 5 altogether. After that, you go back to your book and you add makes 5 or whatever number you figured out you had altogether. So I've got 4 and 1 makes 5. And then you start again. You roll the dice again to make 2 more numbers. And remember that the more times you do it, the better you'll get at using Count All and doing adding. I hope that you have a really great day today, everyone, and an amazing weekend after that. I'll see you on Monday. Bye!